I didn't know what else to say. It was the best save I've ever seen in my life, period. In person. And I said that, like, with some time and perspective on the postgame show that I did. I said, am I just overreacting because it was just a big moment? It was Game 2 of the Stanley Cup Finals, the Capitals. And I said this to Ben Raby, who does the network postgame show. And he goes, no. I mean, this was the best save either one of us had ever seen. When we watched a ton of hockey, this was the best save either one of us had ever seen in person ever, period.
Yeah, everyone's saying that.
Yeah. What are you expecting for Game 3? I got to tell you, I was very, very encouraged by Game 2's performance, and I've gotten to the point now where I kind of believe if the Caps can stay out of the box, I like them in this series a lot more than I did going in. I picked them to win, but it was just kind of like, well, they beat the Penguins, they're going to do this. But it was more hope than anything. I actually think if they can stay out of the box, I actually think they're a little bit better.
Can't be giving them 5-on-3s.
No, you can't do that.
You can't because they allowed 8 shots on goal during that 5-on-3, and worse, the two guys that took the penalty, the penalties, I should say, Eller and Wilson, and the Wilson penalty I had especially a big problem with because that was a bad penalty in the neutral zone.
Oshie, wasn't it? I thought it was Oshie.
Well, Oshie had taken the one that led to the Theodore power play goal that made it 3-2. That was not a good penalty either, but it was Wilson and Eller that took the 2 penalties that made up the 5-on-3.
Okay.
Those 2 guys are 2 of your best penalty killers, especially with Backstrom not really killing the typical amount of penalties that he normally kills. So it's not only taking penalties, it's 2 of your best penalty killers taking penalties, which has been a problem for the Caps in these playoffs. So you can't have the penalties, number one, and you can't have the 2 guys who took them taking them because Braden Holtby's not going to be able to bail you out like he did. So, yes, you can't take those. You can't ask him to do that. You can't ask him to turn around the side to shots that you did. Here's one thing that as 10.5 minutes. After that, 10.5 minutes until about the 2-minute and 40-second mark of the third period without allowing a shot on goal.
Without a shot. It's incredible.
And the Capitals have had stretches like this. Game 5, third period against Pittsburgh in the second round. Game 1, third period after allowing a second goal against Tampa Bay, of having huge long stretches, critical stretches without allowing a shot on goal where where they don't allow a shot on goal, and it's because they forecheck their asses off, and it's because they get aggressive, and it's because they push the tempo.
And they block shots.
Yes. Oh, and this was earlier. Jason, this was early. How about Ovechkin at the point?
Yeah.
Blocking a shot and from his knees, clearing the puck. From his knees at the end of a minute shift.
You know what, Chris?
When was the last time Ovechkin did that?
You know what amazes me? And we've talked about this before. And we had Beagle on every week during the regular season. And he was a part of that. Mm-hmm. These guys, and it just shows you the commitment and the drive to win, the will to win. These guys slide down the ice, and they know it's going to hurt, and they take like a Max Scherzer fastball right to the gut or to the shoulder, to the hand,
or to the head, took one to the
head. I mean, and they know it's going to hurt like hell, and they do it anyway, and they get up, and they skate around, they make a play, and then they limp over to the bench.
Oh, yeah.
And then they come out and do it again.
They're the toughest guys in the world.
They're unbelievable.
I mean, I can't say enough for the sacrifice these guys put in, and it's not always blocked shots. It's how these guys work on faceoffs. Speaking about Beagle, watch the final faceoff. How hard Beagle wins that final faceoff of the game on Wednesday night. Just the work that goes into what he did on that final faceoff, and watch the work that if you go back and if you're a Caps fan, you want to watch the work he puts in on that 5-on-3, rotating in first him, then coming off for a brief period, then coming back. I mean, it's just the stuff of, everything you want as a sports fan of your guys sacrificing and putting their bodies on the line.
There's so many guys that are so valuable in that team. And I know Beagle isn't Beagle a free agent at the end of the
game?
Yeah,
he is.
I mean, I don't know what
a lot of guys.
I don't know what it's going to cost to get Beagle. He's earning himself some money, obviously, but I would love to have him back, man. He's
Beagle,
valuable.
Carlson, Michael Kempney. I mean, they got some guys that they're going to have to pay or lose. But hey, to my here's the thing I would just quickly say. Let's worry about that in a week and a half or 2 weeks or whatever. Let's enjoy this and hope for the best and hope that Kuznetsov can come back. We'll know a little bit more at about 10:15, 10:20, somewhere in that range. When I'm over at Kettler Iceplex, we'll see if he's on the ice. Here's how I would answer this. I wouldn't expect him for Game 3, but you hope for the best, and we'll see what happens. Either way, Saturday night and Monday night at Capital One Arena is going to be off the chains.
Oh, I bet.
So we can assume, did he say that we can assume that Ovi and Backy will be on the same line?
Yeah, I mean, assuming that Kuznetsov is
right.
out,
right.
Ovechkin, and they're going to have to, if Kuznetsov is not in the lineup, I would guess, this is just a guess, that a guy like Travis Boyd probably would get the call because they kind of moved up their centers with Backstrom moving up with Ovechkin and Wilson, Lars Eller going back up to the second line, Jay Beagle, of course, moving up, and you kind of need that fourth line center, and Travis Boyd is really good at faceoff. So I would expect him to be the fourth center, just kind of moving everybody up.